Okay, hello everyone. Hola, para el que habla en español. Thank you very much for coming. I hope we can have a speak. So I'm glad to interrupt me and make me any question that you have during the presentation. We have short time. We have just 30 minutes, so I will try to do as quicker as I can. Probably many of you know me. I opened the event, but if not, I'm Facundo Maldonado. I'm 29 years old. And as you can see, I'm a marketer and runner. I love to do sports. I train every day. But what I really love, what's my passion, is marketing. I'm all day thinking in a marketing way, looking for marketing things, trying to understand how the people think. And I think marketing is everywhere. Everything is crossed by marketing. Because of that, I studied marketing. I went to the university, and now I'm studying in Stanford for design. And I love to understand what the people need to do. When I finish the university, as I work in a family company, I think I have to create a marketing plan for my company. And it's more easy in the university when you are doing a practice, not in the real life. So this talk is about how to create or how to manage the marketing plan. It's not the points about how to put in the marketing plan. It's the points about what do you have to do with your company to do a marketing plan. So I create 10 steps. So we will try to look for them and try to understand what happened. The first thing and the most difficult is start. Is understand that the marketing plan is important. Why? Why is important? Because it's the north of the company. The marketing plan says where are you going, where you want to go, where you want to do. So understand that is important is the first step. You have to understand that the marketing plan is dynamic. It's changed every time. Because the context changed, the market changed, the consumer changed. So you have to think that you will do something dynamic. Always in our company where we don't have time. So understand we need to give time to the marketing plan. It's the first step. And because of that, I think you have to have really willpower to do that. And I want to show you a friend that I asked him to say some words about willpower. So you can hear him.
So a dude screamed to me the other night, "Hey Will, I want to be an actor, man. I want to be an actor just like you." You know, usually people say stuff to me like that. I'm like, "Yeah, man, you know you do is give them an encouraging word." But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest. Right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're going to kick yourself in the balls? So you're going to stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
So the mind is to put in a marketing way, I think. So the second step, after you decide you will do a marketing plan, is to find a framework. I think it's really important to look for a framework which order your ideas. The framework gives you the possibility to understand where you are now and where you want to be in the future. And it's important to give words to the ideas. It's necessary for your team, for your company, to give words to that idea, because you can know where you want to go, but you need that the other people knows where you have to go. When I created my first marketing plan, it was coming back from Drupa in a train with Silvia, my mom, who's my boss too. And I recommend, but you can find millions of framework from a marketing or a strategic plan in Google. I recommend the one which is in the Xerox hotspot, the Profit Accelerator Kit. It's very interesting because it has some steps where it's driving to you to what you have to write, and it's specific for our industry. So if you can enter to that direction and find it. They have really good things. But the important is to have a framework. Anyone which one you feel comfortable, but you need to have a framework. The next step is about the people. You can't do a marketing plan alone. That is really important. You have two ways to understand that. One is with your collaborator. You need to make a team to work in the marketing plan. The marketing plan across all the organization, so you need to have people from other areas if you can, because if not, it's something just a dream. So if you have a team with collaborators, probably you may feel them part of your company, part of your marketing plan. So it's more easy. And if you are not owners of your companies or you have bosses, it's really important to have the support of the managers and validate when you are working in a marketing plan with them. Because if you work for weeks or months or what time you need to do it, and then you go to your boss and say, okay, that's great, but we will do another thing, you will be very frustrated. So please validate with them if you are in the correct way, if your ideas are okay, and take advantage of the knowledge of have a boss and try to work with them. The success of the marketing plan is about the consensus. It's about the consensus where with your employees, with your bosses, all the company have to be in the way of this marketing plan. The next thing is start to think in a framework. So when you are in the framework, the first important thing that you will find is the scope. It's really important to understand that the marketing plan, as I said, cross all over the company. So it's really important to understand what you do, what you will do, what product, what services. What you will do is the first thing. Of course, probably most of you know what you do, but to think about what you do, probably you will find things that you are doing that you don't know, or you are not doing things that you want to do. So it's really important to understand what. I was thinking in the example of this, and I think in Apple that you have an iPhone, an iPad, and they, I think you know all these points. Then when you will start in the Apple case, you have the launch of a new iPhone, and they think the iPhone, they think when they will launch it, they have a day to present, they have a day to start selling, and where they decide, okay, you will start doing in Asia, you will start doing in America, you will do worldwide. In your company, probably in your companies, you will need to decide if you will do in your city, in all your country, in Europe, in states, everywhere, but you will need to understand and you will need to think about it. The other is who will do. Who will do, it's about people, it's about process, it's about who and why. It's really important to understand, okay, I will do, but I will have resellers, I will have my own sales team, I will do by web to print with XMPie, I don't know, everything. You need to think about all the details about your product or your service. How you will do? You will do in a quality way, you will do in a speed way, everything about your product, you must to think. And the last, and it's the most difficult thing to understand, is how much. The prices must be in the marketing area. Because you can, if you put prices down from the line that the client wants to pay, you probably will lose money because your clients are paying less than they want or they can. And if you put the price up from this line, you will lose sales. So it's really important to understand and to create the prices about the logical of the client. It's really important. So when you start to think about those things, you need to put the focus in, I think something is the key of that, is the differentiation. You need to see about what makes you different. It's important that the differentiation is to be you. Everyone have something that makes us different, and that influences all the decisions. If you want to put the web to print, and that will be your differentiation, you probably decide to buy a program, to contract the designer, to contract an IT guy. So the differentiation is the clue of what you have to do for the next years in your company. And if you can think about some brands that make the differentiation decisions, probably you can find some of them very familiar. For example, Amazon, the differentiation is the delivery. It's you have in more than 30 cities in the United States, you buy and you have your product in less than 2 hours in your house. So that is the difference that they have with the other thing. You can buy by one click and you have it. Volvo, if you say Volvo, probably you will say security. You will say, okay, I have my family, I want a car, they have security, Volvo. Do you wait for a hamburger in McDonald's for 1 hour? Anyone? No? If I say I will invite you to the best restaurant in the city or in the place where you live, and I pay, could you wait for 1 hour to get the table? That is different. McDonald's have the differentiation is in the time, in the speed of making the hamburger. You have to, if you think in McDonald's, you need to have the hamburger less than a minute in front of you. In Argentina, we have a marketing action a few years ago that you need, if the hamburger is not in 1 minute ready, they give you for free. That is why the differentiation, or how to feel the differentiation in the decisions. This way, the marketing decision. Probably some woman here wants Victor and Rolf perfume, fragrance, because the quality of them gives you the difference about others. If you go to a supermarket, to a grocery or some of this, you will not find a Victor and Rolf fragrance. That's the quality influencing the decision of where you will buy, when you will buy, how do you will buy, and how much you will pay. If I think in a coffee, in Take a Coffee, everyone knows that brand, the green one. What do you think about to feel at home? I don't know, in another continent, like we are now from Argentina. But if I go to a Starbucks, it's the same Starbucks in Argentina, in Poland. I say 20 cappuccino, and always it's a 20 cappuccino everywhere. So their differentiation is to be in everywhere like you are in home. So that is to exploit your differentiation. And this I put because they do all the decisions about the differentiation is to give entertainment for all the family. They have parks, they have hotels, they have everything as being entertained for all the family. If you go to Disney World, probably any of you with your family, everyone has something to do. Everyone. All the decisions are going to the Walt Disney, to the differentiation, sorry. So the next step, we're thinking a lot, we have working with our team, we create some new ideas, and this is the step where always the marketing plan quit, is to write it. Sorry? To write it. And you can see that this slide is different to all the other ones, because this is the driver of your marketing plan. You will come back again, we will see later, but you will come back again to this step every time. Some companies do it 6 months, some companies annually, some companies do quarters, but you always will come back to this, because the writing make speech. If you ask me or my team what Copileidy do, we are a digital communication graphic agency, and everyone says the same. For all the company, it's the same. So when you write it, you make speech. When you write it, you conceptualize, you put your ideas in work, you will remember better. And it's what do you need to bring to others your ideas, and don't to be talking with it all the time, and the people don't understand what they want. If you write it, you probably will communicate better. After you write it, you need to present. It's really important that all the organization, the guy who is in the front desk, the guy who is in the check-in, the guy who is cleaning, everyone needs to know all about your marketing plan. So in this step, you need to understand that if you don't communicate, if you don't present to all the company, you'll probably be like Don Quixote, like alone, or you and your team alone working against all the company. So it's important to understand that to have marketing plan is really an important event. Not all the companies have a marketing or a strategic plan. So please present to everyone, because if you just write and put in your desk and you don't touch even 1 year, probably it will not be a marketing plan. And communicate them, create good culture, create quality, create compromise in your team and in your company, and create trust. It's important that your people trust you. Where are you going? That is better to understand what you want to do and why you make your decisions. So after you present, you drink some beers in an event with your colleagues, probably an after hours like yesterday. Monday comes and you sit with your colleagues and say, okay, we have a marketing plan, great, let's do it. Okay, great. nothing happened. You have to sell the same product as last week. You have to pay the bill you have from last week. You have to talk with the same client you have last week. So the next step I put is to go live. When you go live, you need to understand that not all the people understand the first time the marketing plan. It's not like I put there, I present, and everything changes like that. No, it's really important to understand that you will have noises. Someone will say, okay, he wants to say that, and the other one, no, he'd say that, he will do that. So it's important to detect the noises and to try to fix them. Try to explain again and again, we will do that, we will do this. We understand that this is the point of view. And the other thing I recommend is to have plans by area. That's important because if some area of your company is not aligned with the marketing plan, you can have really problems. Some companies I will show them. And it's important to have little goals aligned with the big goal of the marketing plan. So each areas must have action plans to how to achieve the goals. So if you are not aligned, probably you will have problems like these companies. Yesterday I heard something who said that Kodak didn't see the change. Kodak see the change. Kodak create the digital camera, but the production and the sales are not aligned with the new technology. And I imagine the guy who discovered the digital camera go into the production manager and say, okay, I have a new product, we have a camera that you can shoot photograph, you can delete if you don't like, you can have 1 million photos, 1,000 photos, and you don't need to print, you need to, and the guy from production said, guy, I produce 5 million photo rolls per month, probably you are kidding me, go out from here. So the guy goes back to and say, okay, I will try with the sales manager. He goes, speaks with the sales manager, yeah, I have a new camera you can sell by $200, and he said, I sell 5 million photo rolls, and what are you telling me about the digital camera to delete what you really want? No, go out from here. After a few years, Kodak doesn't exist anymore. That's because the innovation department is not aligned with the production and with the sales. They create the product that eliminate them. So I think it's most about be aligned and not about don't see the future. Or BlackBerry think that the production guys think that the QWERTY keyboard is the fastest thing, the fastest way to write it. And a guy, I will show that later, think that it's not like that. But I have again my friend about going live because you can fail, but it's important to understand something about fail.
I love this one. Fail early, fail often, fail forward. It's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. When you go to the gym and you work out, you're actually seeking failure. You want to take your muscles to the point where you get to failure because that's where the adaptation is. That's where growth is. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed, but they extract the lessons from the failure and they use that, the energy, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase success. You gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You gotta live where you're almost certain you're going to fail. That's the reason for practice. Practice is controlled failure. You're getting to your limit, getting to your limit, getting to your limit. You can't lift that. You can't do that. Until you get to the point that all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you to recognize the areas where you need to evolve. So fail early, fail often, fail forward.
So, fail is just a step in a marketing plan. If you quit when you fail, probably you will not grow as quickly as you want. So, thank you, ma'am, for coming to see me. So, this guy had a big failure. He was fired in Middle East from Apple. He said that it's a fail for him, but it was the period with more creative ideas of his career. Then he came back and he changed a little bit the technology work industry. So if not, as to BlackBerry guys that they think that the quiet is the key. So goal is to fail and go back again and again and again. I have to run a little bit because we have just 5 minutes. As I told with the differentiation, this changed your decision. You have to take some decisions, some new decisions. You have to understand which people will work with you in your company, with materials you will need, with process you will have to change, which investment probably if you want to be the company who sells more printing, you will need an agent. If you need to have a buyer, you have to do many jobs in the same time. You have more percent, you can have 2 or 3 or 5. So everything is achieved, is going to achieve the goal. Everything is crossed by the marketing plan. And at last but not least is to go back to the point 6. It's incredible what you can find if you come back to the step 6 1 year ago after you create the first marketing plan. I also create my own marketing plan for my life, and in 2013 I want to be a speaker in a conference. So if I go back, I repeat this goal for 5 years, and I can have the possibility now to do that. So it's important to go back to the step 6 and understand how far or how close you are from your goal, and if the goal that you put in your marketing plan is the same now, because our goals probably change. In my personal marketing plan, I change to have a party with friends, to have probably a family or something. So don't be afraid to change and be dynamic. If not, think about Netflix and Blockbuster. Netflix needs less than 10% of the people to do 4 times more profit than Blockbuster. That is it's because they understand that it's changing. Blockbuster, the problem is not the digital. The problem is about how much people they need to sell the same product. That is the really key. So I have to finish the telling me, but try to understand that it's a loop. You always need to think the marketing plan like a loop. Please, if you need something, I give you my credentials. You can have my business card, no problem. And now, if someone have any question, please let me know. I'm fan from Minions, so I put all my talks. I put the Minions. Someone, some thought. Yeah.
As you said, that the companies has to be all the time reinvented.
Yeah.
In our work, I think it could happen the same as you have been showing Blockbusters was.
Yeah.
Because now everything is digital. I have a Millennium son, and everything he needs is his iPhone. He doesn't print or need paper.
Yes, but no. I made a talk 1 month ago about the millennials and the new ways of sales. And you can just one example. Amazon create now the physical stores for them. The stores where you go by Amazon and pick up your things, but the difference is they don't pay. So the millennials have they need to touch things because they grow in a digital world. For the millennials, the digital world is not attractive. For them, it's like they live with that, they born with that. So I think the printing will move to a physical support. The way is to have things that are physical support of the digital. If you want to do a newspaper, probably it will die in a few years. If you say a book, the book is growing the industry because it's the experience of reading in a book. It's not about the reading. It's not about really the content. It's the support that you need. It's not the same. But I think that the technology probably will be the most important thing in the future for us, as what to print, automate process, and everything is going to that way. But printing will live in a different way because it's like the radio or the television, they change with internet, day and day. Any other question? No? Okay, I'm here if you need something, you can find me all day here. And I'm very glad to have this opportunity. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you have a great day.